Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 video games that make you feel powerful. For this list, we're looking at the most fun video games that make you feel like an overpowered behemoth. Let us know in the comments which gave you the biggest adrenaline rush. Number 10. Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance.
Yes! Swing it wide open!
Though Raiden wasn't too popular back when he debuted in Metal Gear Solid 2, he's since become a fan-favorite character. As a cyborg ninja, Raiden's main weapon is his sword. He's ludicrously fast and strong, able to pick up bosses and throw them across the map. He's even powerful enough that he can just hack and slash his way through combat encounters that would require some careful stealth in other games, not to mention defeating a Metal Gear that would usually be a final boss in the first 30 minutes. There are those who feel Raiden is so powerful the game stops being fun, but most people love this bombastic take on the Metal Gear formula. Number 9. Diablo III. The Diablo series has long been one of the best ARPGs on the market, but it has a glaring issue that many veteran players have been pointing out for years. Many of the classes and builds can be extremely overpowered. And if you know how to manipulate the game, you can be basically invincible. The good news is that the game gets drastically harder as you progress, but the first time you play the campaign, you'll definitely feel like you have an unfair advantage. By the time you get really good though, after pumping many hours into playing, you'll feel like you've earned your immense power, and you definitely have. Number 8. Fallout 4. You'll end up pretty powerful, even if you're only halfway through a given Fallout game. You've invested a decent number of skill points, you'll have a wide array of weapons already. But Fallout 4 throws all that pacing out the window by presenting you with power armor and a minigun and sending you out to kill a Deathclaw all within the first hour of gameplay. Though the power armor does need fusion cores to work, and the pieces break constantly, after enough time, keeping it in good shape won't be an issue. Sure, you can choose to ignore it, but if not, you'll immediately be the strongest wastelander in the Commonwealth. Number 7. Batman: Arkham Knight. The Caped Crusader has always been pretty skilled in the Arkham games. Sure, he can't take too many bullets, but nobody stands a chance against him in a fistfight. In Arkham Knight, he's the strongest he's ever been, with a fancy new batsuit that uses fluid to enhance his mobility. This batsuit allowed him to do new fear takedowns that let him annihilate half a dozen targets one after the other without engaging in combat. But it's not just Batman himself that's powerful, so is the Batmobile and its infamous tank mode. Love it or hate it, you can't deny that Batman driving around Gotham in a literal tank is beastly.
He got a drone! No!
Number 6. Control. The Federal Bureau of Control has been taken over by an insidious entity called the Hiss. With its director dead and its staff in complete chaos, Jesse becomes the new director and is granted a roster of supernatural abilities by the mysterious board. Along with a shape-shifting gun that can pull off all sorts of attacks, Jesse also becomes telekinetic, which allows her to toss enemies around, create a shield of rubble, and even fly for short periods of time. Once you start unlocking more of these powers as you progress, you truly become a force to be reckoned with. Number 5. Doom. As the Doomslayer, you're the only thing standing in the way of Hell's forces and the rest of existence. This may sound like you're pretty outmatched, but you'll have a huge arsenal of devastating weapons at your disposal, free to dispatch demons as you see fit. Doom can get tricky in places if you're playing on a higher difficulty setting or you're not an FPS aficionado, but nothing compares to overcoming those impossible odds. id Software's silky smooth controls do wonders for conveying this sense of power when you're playing Doom, especially when you get your hand on the BFG. Number 4. Middleearth, Shadow of Mordor. With one of the most robust combat systems of any modern action game, once you start leveling up Talion and unlocking the power of the Wraith, you'll be taking out any and every orc before you know it. You need higher tier abilities to really make the most of the combat, but eventually, you'll have seemingly endless tools at your disposal. Whether you want to prioritize a stealth build and strike enemies from behind, or you want a glorious, gruesome battle for the ages, it's all at your fingertips, and the satisfaction of killing your nemesis definitely can't be overstated. Number 3. Azuras Wrath. Azura could possibly be the most powerful character in a video game, and that is saying a lot. Azuras Wrath is an anime-inspired game with a lot of QTEs. And it's this cinematic narrative focus that lets it have such insane, violent encounters totally unhindered by the actual combat system. Not that the combat isn't great when you get a chance to play, it's a lot of fun, but it's the story itself that makes you feel imbued with the power of a god. Do you want to blow up a planet-sized boss by punching it to death? Of course you do! Number 2. God of War 3.
Kratos, your death will not be a gentle one.
Every God of War game, bar the 2018 soft reboot, is all about Kratos becoming more and more of a monster, taking down gods both out of revenge for their manipulation and so he can prove himself the strongest Greek hero of all. So, of course, you're gonna feel unbeatable when you kill the entire Greek pantheon, including the likes of Zeus. God of War 3 marks the end of the Greek cycle in the franchise, and it definitely ended with a bang. Though Kratos' massacre brought untold suffering to the Greek world, nothing compares to being the actual God of War.
Before we continue, Be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Saints Row 4.
That's why I get paid the big bucks. Come get a taste! I'll shoot down every last one of you!
Between a zombie outbreak, monstrous energy drinks, and trips to cyberspace, it didn't seem like Saints Row could get zanier than its third entry. Oh, how wrong we were. In its fourth outing, you're the President of the United States, and after a devastating alien invasion, you're left trapped inside a computer simulation of Steelport. But being in a simulation has some benefits, namely that you've got all the superpowers now. Super speed, telekinesis, super jumps, gliding, you can do anything you want. The only downside is that said powers make the game unbalanced. But then again, that's sort of the whole point.
I am awesome!
In the mood for more awesome gaming content? Be sure to check out this video here on Mojo Plays. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.